Folks, in the real estate investing game, in the investing game, in the finance game, there are lots of numbers, lots of goals, but I think people are tracking the wrong things. Yes, you have the wrong goals. You are celebrating the wrong things. We're going to talk to the one and only Coach Carson. Chad, how you doing, man?
Doing great, Michael. Thanks for having me on.
Oh, man, I love our conversation. So what do you think about this? There are lots of goals in the real estate investing game, and I think a lot of people are chasing the wrong ones.
Yeah, I was rereading a book it was a business book called The Four, what is it? I can't remember the name, but the Four FQ is like the execution book. I can't remember. I remember the name of it. But the point was we have two different kinds of goals. We have these big long-term goals, which they, in that book, called the lag goals. They kind of lag what you're doing right now, all the actions you're taking. So this is like financial freedom. This is like having $1 million in net worth. This is having $10,000 in cash flow. Like those are the important goals we're trying to get to. But the reason measuring those is really not that helpful at the moment is because you can't actually do financial freedom. You can't do $1 million, right? So like you always talk about doing the work. Well, like if you want to measure something that matters, measure the next most immediate thing that actually leads towards that long-term goal. So in real estate investing, I'll give you a few examples. In real estate investing, when I'm coaching people and when I used to just be in the trenches, like growing and starting, I would measure how many offers I made that week. Every single week. It's like on a big whiteboard.
Yeah.
I made one offer, I made 0 offers, I made 10 offers. And I might not be good at making offers, but if you make enough offers, even if you're not good at it, eventually you're going to get a deal. And I would do the same thing with renting properties. Like it's a sales funnel, essentially. Like if I want to get my property rented and it's been sitting vacant for 2 weeks, how many tenants that I talked to today? How many applications did I get? And so I guess the point I'm trying to make is when I used to play sports, when I played football, if you wanted to become a really good linebacker and build muscle or if you're somebody trying to lose weight, like those are the lag goals. Those are the outcome goals we're trying to make. But in almost every goal we make, you have to work it backwards to the most immediate thing that you can measure on a week-to-week basis. And if you can measure those activities that you really can do, then that's the ticket. Like that's how you measure it, how you do it, how you consistently make progress on that will actually lead you to all those other things that you want to do.
I'm so glad we're talking about this because, again, as a sales guy who's had a sales funnel and a commission around his neck for 20 years, and over the last 10 years, I ran go-to-market for brand new products, right? Products that didn't exist or were brand new, like 1.0 versions or alpha versions. We would have a goal in real estate. Maybe that's a net worth. Maybe that's financial freedom, whatever it is. But we had to work backwards, right? How many sales? What's the average ticket price? How many meetings? How many POCs? How many calls? It all led to how many brand new people are we talking to? And a lot of people in the sales game, they focus on, is it commit? Is it upside? Is it, whatever. When you're running go-to-market for a product that's never existed before, it's all about the brand new conversations. And then you're just pivoting and learning and getting better at the conversion ratios. When I talk to brand new investors and this do to work mantra, I want to be very clear. What I think a new investor should do is have a buy box. We've talked about that a lot. And you should look at your buy box 7 days a week. Track it. And then if you are doing that, how many new listings? How many were gone? Because what we're trying to teach is to understand what the market is doing in your buy box. And the only way to do that, Chad, is to look at it every freaking day. Track that. Let's do that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, and this is when you're a student of the game, which everybody's listening to this, you're a student. You're here listening to get better. And if Michael and I were coaching you, which we're coaching you through the screen here, we can't coach you unless you're in motion.
Yes.
Like you've got to be taking action. And if you're measuring net worth, we can say, well, you're $10 closer to your net worth, but there's nothing really I can give you feedback on, like to correct that. But if you tell me this week I made 10 offers, that would be incredible. That'd be a lot of offers, but I got 0 accepted. Well, I've got something then. I can say, well, let's talk about how you presented them. Let's talk about the numbers you made. Let's talk about the follow-up you did. I mean, I've got a long list of coaching points that I can teach you to try to get better. but I can't, you as the student have to be in motion, and you got to be taking action on the things that matter.
Yep.
And so this is such a powerful idea. Like, I think people are going to listen to this and say, this is just, oh yeah, I get this, Chad, this makes sense. But like, I've been thinking about my own journey as a real estate investor. This one idea, I didn't explain, I didn't have the vocabulary for it when I first started, but I took this from sports, and I learned from people like John Wooden, who won 10 championships at UCLA. And he said, I never worry about winning. Like, I don't care about championships. I care about this practice, us having like an incredible practice, tying our shoes correctly, dribbling correctly. Like, he focused on these little lead
Yep.
measures that if you put 1,000 of those little lead measures together, they turn into a championship.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing. I've been using this mantra my entire business, and it sounds so simple, but it's like, I feel like it's one of the critical pieces that's led me to accomplish a lot of my goals.
Well, here's the deal, right? When you run sales team or when you earn financial freedom, this statement, I forget who said this first. If I knew, I'd give them credit. I don't know who, but what gets measured gets done.
Yeah.
If you're measuring net worth and you're starting from zero and your goal is $1 million, you don't move the needle enough month to month to keep going, right? You don't get validation. But if you're tracking and you make 10 offers for the week, and oh, by the way, I would, because I'm a sales guy, I would make the goal 6. So 10 was a great week.
Right.
Right. And, to your point, if you got 0 accepted, we could coach them. Well, what are you doing? Is it a strong offer? Or is it a weak offer? Do you have 17,000 conditions, or is it clean? Is it cash? We could play with that and improve that. When you're playing football, right? You played at the D1 level. Practice is where you hone the craft. The game becomes reaction, right? You shouldn't be thinking in a game, is what I understand. But
Absolutely.
It's because of that, just that day, watching film, executing, watching footwork, watching what the opposing quarterback, are they signaling run or pass, right? What are they doing to give you that extra advantage? It's the preparation. What do you think?
Yeah, I used to watch hours and hours of film. That was kind of my game. I was a middle linebacker, and so pattern recognition was really, football is an athletic sport, but it's really chess in motion. It's a pattern recognition sport. But real estate is also a pattern recognition sport, but it's a slow moving. Like, as fast as you think things are moving, like real estate compared to the stock market, compared to trading, like it's super slow.
Oh yeah.
But you have to pay, but it's a pattern recognition game. And so,
Agreed.
but the cool thing I love about for the small and mighty investor is the pattern recognition happens on a street by street level. It happens on a block by block level, a neighborhood level. So the study, the film you and I should be watching is what's happening in our market today. Like, if I was sitting, if I came into your neighborhood, we should be able to walk around your neighborhood and there's a house for sale, and I point to it and say, hey, how much is that for sale for?
Yeah. Exactly.
You should know within like 10,000, 20,000 bucks. You should also know, hey, that property rents for, $1,700 to $2,000. Like, you should always be able to have this pattern recognition of market value. And then that's the work you're doing. And you only learn that by getting in the market, making offers, getting rejected, and ultimately buying properties. And that's where that's so critical.
Well, this is why I want to be very clear. It's not the market, it's the buy box. Right. When I hear market, some people, like, I'm in Fresno. When people hear the word market, they may think Fresno. I want the small and mighty investor to know, no, it's 93703. It's single family homes. It's 3 or 4 bedrooms, 2 baths, 2-car garage, 1 story between 15 and 2,200 square feet, 1,500 and 2,200 square feet. That's a buy box. You should know that. You can't learn Fresno. It's a million freaking people. You're not going to learn it. Pattern recognition doesn't work when you compare the Tower District with Mayfair, with the Old Fig, with Clovis. Maybe when you're in the game 20 years like I am, you can do it. But in the beginning, you'll do nothing but confuse yourself. Go watch this much, in my opinion.
Yeah, be an expert on the micro niche of your market. And what's cool is that you can become an expert. I mean, literally, if you studied this for 8 hours a day for 7 days, you could be an expert in one little slice of your market.
Oh, yeah.
And you would know
very
more
quickly.
You could come in my market. You could study like one little neighborhood, and you can know more than I have, who's been here for 21 years, because you studied it very tiny little slice. And that's encouraging. Like, that's
powerful.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Again, folks, get a buy box, look at it every day, become the best. And again, The buy box that I gave you was my exact buy box from 2001. That is all I looked at for 3 years. By the end, and it's 20 minutes a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year for 3 years. By the end of 90 days, Chad, I knew that buy box better than anybody on the planet. Hence, I bought a lot of great deals. It's just how it works.
So takeaway for people listening to this, like if I would make a list of these actions that you hear like Michael talking about, you hear me talking about, like there's probably 5 or 6 actions that if you did those consistently week by week and you measured that, you will ultimately be successful. That's what you should be studying from not just me and Michael, like any real estate investor who's had some success. What are the things they do consistently that have led and will lead to success? And I'm telling you, making offers, like if you want to buy more properties, you can't do that without making offers.
Yeah,
that's just a
offers.
no-brainer. If you just measure that one, that's it. I would add market study. Like if you're spending 2 hours a week, 5 hours a week, studying your market, looking at sales, looking at talking to realtors, that's just a no-brainer. That's like lifting weights. That's like if you're an Olympic athlete, you train. You're a real estate investor, you look at market knowledge and market data. Those are just a couple, but I would also add talking to money lenders as a third one. Like every week, you should be talking to some private lender, some bank, it can be very informal, but you should be like leading towards a pitch. You should be ultimately asking somebody, hey, if I found a deal like that, would you be willing to loan me the money on that? Yep. Yes or no? That's another. So if you did those 3 things, studied your market, made offers on properties, pitched money lenders, and that's all you did every single week, and you just put the time in, you can't help but be successful as a real estate investor.
Folks, start the momentum, keep it going, don't stop. Small and mighty investors, we're here for you. Chad, where can people find you?
If you look for Coach Carson on YouTube, I'm hanging out there. I don't publish quite as much, not even close to as much as Michael, which is why I'm here with him hanging out, but I do publish once a week. I have a podcast and I'd love for you to come check it out.
There you go.